Before we proceed further, request you to please subscribe to our channel as shown above. Hello friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology. In today's video, I am going to talk about certain explosive events that might take place between 4th April and 7th April 2022. The reason being, Mars and Saturn are going to be conjunct at exact 28 degrees in the sign of Capricorn on 5th April 2022. Now I had made a video that Mars Saturn conjunction at exact 28 degrees in the sign of Capricorn on 5th April 2022. World enters the danger zone from 26th Feb 2022. This video I had done on November 20th 2021, and I will give a link to this video in the description section. The context of today's video, however, is to talk about certain precautions that we need to take in this time period, especially from 4th to 7th April 2022. I will also cover certain explosive events that might take place due to this conjunction in this time frame. Now, why is this conjunction so explosive? Why is it so dangerous? First thing is, Mars and Saturn are opposite energies. Saturn is slow, Saturn is patient, Saturn is hardworking, Saturn is struggle, Saturn is restriction, Saturn is limitation. Whereas Mars is aggression, impulsiveness. Mars is a soldier who is very aggressive and does anything to attain his goals. Mars therefore represents anger. Mars represents the blood flowing in our body. Mars represents extreme passion. And Mars represents extreme determination to achieve the goals. Now when Mars is in Capricorn, Capricorn is the sign where Mars gets exalted at 28 degrees, which means Mars becomes extremely powerful at 28 degrees. And both Mars and Saturn will be in the Dhanishta nakshatra when they conjunct at 28 degrees. Dhanishta nakshatra is the nakshatra which is ruled by Shani, and the sign of Capricorn is also ruled by Shani. So both these opposing energies come together at exact 28 degrees, that is the exaltation degree of Mars, in the sign of Capricorn. So who is going to win the battle? Is it Mars or is it Saturn? Think of this conjunction as trying to drive a car by pressing the brake and the accelerator at the same time. What happens? The car will start vibrating. It will not be able to move forward despite the acceleration due to the brakes. So this conjunction represents an explosive situation. It represents a tussle. Mars is aggression, Mars is fire, and Saturn is opposition, Saturn is limitation. So this results in a very explosive situation. During this time period, there could be an extreme increase in terrorist activities. Second thing is, during this time period, Mars is very strong. So there you can see clashes between army and terrorists in this time period in different parts of the world. Especially for India, this conjunction is very important because both Saturn and Mars are going to aspect the sign of Cancer, which represents India's borders. And therefore, on the borders of India or the neighboring countries of India, you might see certain explosive events, certain terrorist activities taking place in this time period. You could also see the army fighting the terrorists and trying to kill them and destroy their hideouts. So in short, this conjunction can represent fire, attacks through explosives, increase in terrorist activities, as well as destruction of terrorist hideouts. The next thing is Mars represents the earth element. Mars is the son of the goddess Earth, and Mars represents the earth element. Now, when Mars Saturn conjunction takes place, it is quite likely that the electromagnetic fields change and an earthquake comes, which can result in large scale casualties. So, this is a time period where there is a strong probability of an earthquake. More so, I see this possibility in the northern regions, the northeast regions of India, as well as in areas located close to China. Now, Capricorn is the sign which represents the government, which represents the economy, which represents hierarchy, order, and structure. And when such a terrible conjunction occurs in this sign, it means that the government will be badly affected in this time period, the economy will be badly affected in this time period. The sign of Capricorn represents the masses, and when such a conjunction occurs, it represents a warlike situation, and therefore the Russia-Ukraine war may further intensify, and there can be very high number of casualties in this time period. If you see the video given on November 20th, 2021, we had already predicted that the world would enter into a war zone and a danger zone from 26th Feb 2022, and the Russia-Ukraine war started on 24th Feb 2022. So this is the time period when this war might reach a peak. The destruction might reach the peak in this time period. Now, coming to the common man, the common person, Mars represents the blood flowing in our body, whereas Saturn represents the bones, the muscles. Saturn represents limitations, and therefore in this period people could get sudden heart attacks. There will be an increase in heart attacks across the world because of this conjunction of Saturn and Mars in Capricorn. Another thing that I can foresee is the death of a very powerful leader in this time period. It could be the Prime Minister or the President of a very powerful country. The chances of assassination of leaders increases during this time period, because both Mars and Saturn are very powerful, and the sign of Capricorn represents the masses, the people who lead the masses, as well as the economy. Because Mars and Saturn aspect the sign of Cancer, and the sign of Cancer is ruled by the moon, it means that in this time period there could be tsunamis. Destructive events can take place over the sea, over the ocean. There could be naval attacks in this time period. So activity on the sea front will be intensified, and Navy should be on alert in this time period. So overall, you can see that this combination can result in terrorist activities, destruction of terrorist hideouts, people getting sudden heart attacks, increase in warlike situations, tense border situations for countries like India and India's neighboring countries, and also tsunamis and storms. Also, the ocean, the sea will be very tense in this time period. You could see intense naval activity in this time period. So now let us come to what precautions we can take in this time period. Now, for the Gemini ascendant, it is very important that you do not drive any vehicle in this time period. Why is this so? Because this conjunction is occurring in the 8th house of Capricorn for you, which represents accidents, which represents sudden events. So between 4th April and 7th April 2022, if you are a Gemini ascendant, avoid travel and avoid driving. The same holds true for the Libra ascendant or the Tula ascendant. You might face certain problems in your home environment. You might face certain property related disputes coming up in this time period because this conjunction is occurring in your 4th house. So the best solution to this problem is to chant the Vishnu Sahasranam on these days. That will give you a good level of protection. For the Capricorn ascendant, this conjunction is occurring in the 1st house itself, and therefore it can indicate some kind of physical harm coming to you. So take care of your health in this time period. Worship Lord Vishnu with full faith. You can chant the Vishnu Sahasranam. You can also chant the Vishnu Gayatri on this day, and you will receive adequate level of protection. For the Cancer ascendant, be careful when you deal with people of the opposite sex or when you deal with business partners. You may be very rash in your communication, and if you are working out a business deal or a contract, it could completely fail in this time period. There could be a big fight, a big clash. So avoid signing any important documents, undertaking any important events during this time period. Praying to Lord Shiva, chanting Om Namah Shivaya and chanting the Mahamrityunjay mantra in this time period is a good remedy for the Cancer ascendant. For the Leo ascendant, the conjunction is occurring in your 6th house. So your enemies can get extremely active in this time period. Hidden enemies will come to the forefront and disturb your work routine in this time period. So in your work environment, be very careful about what you are saying and to whom you are saying something, so that it does not become an explosive event. Maintain a control on your speech. Take cautious decisions. Do not trust people blindly. Do not give out loans in this time period, and you will be all right. Worshipping the sun in this time period, chanting the Gayatri mantra is the best remedy for the Leo ascendant. For Virgo ascendant, this is a time when luck will not favor you. Why? Because Saturn is your 6th lord, who is placed in the 5th house, conjunct Mars. So take care of the health of your children, keep them within your eyesight, and do not fall into unnecessary speculative activities such as investing heavily in the stock market in this time period, because this conjunction is there to create problems for you. So do not indulge in speculative activities and take care of your children. Worship Lord Vishnu in this time period and things will be alright for you. For the Scorpio ascendant, this combination occurs in the 3rd house, and Mars rules your 1st house as well as your 6th house. So this combination can bring disputes with your siblings. Try to avoid interacting much with your siblings in this time period, and worship Lord Ganesha in this time period. That will give you a lot of protection. For the Sagittarius ascendant or the Dhanu Lagna, the combination is occurring in the 2nd house, which represents your family, which represents your speech. So be very careful when you are speaking to someone, because you could suddenly get angry. There could be rash speech which could spoil the relationships, especially with your family members and relatives in this time period. Worshipping Lord Dattatreya or worshipping any guru such as Sai Baba, Swami Samarth in this time period will give you a lot of protection. Now for the Taurus ascendant, or the Vrishab Lagna, this combination is occurring in your ninth house. So you need to take extreme care of the health of your father in this time period. Also, do not indulge into unnecessary conflicts with your gurus and bosses in this time period. Otherwise, it is going to affect your work environment very badly. Worshipping goddess Lakshmi and chanting the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam Stotram will give you a lot of protection in this time period. For the Aquarius ascendant or Kumbha Lagna, this combination is occurring in your 12th house of losses and expenses. And therefore, in this time period, do not indulge in unnecessary expenses. You will be tempted to buy certain things which might not prove useful to you later. Try avoiding this. Also, try avoiding dealing with foreign partners in this time period, as that might bring you great losses. Again, worshipping Lord Vishnu is the best solution for you in this time period. For the Pisces ascendant or the Mean Lagna, the combination is occurring in the 11th house. So it can create disputes with your elder siblings or your friends in this time period. Also have realistic expectations in this time period, because 11th house deals with hopes, aspirations and desires. So if you have any important things to do in this time period, try to postpone those things. Do not take important decisions in this time period. Also, do not trust anyone blindly in this time period, and do not reveal your secrets to your friends in this time period. The best solution for you is to worship Lord Dattatreya, and that will give you a great deal of protection in this time period. For the Aries ascendant, the combination is occurring in the 10th house of Capricorn. And definitely this is going to impact your work environment, your career and profession in this time period. So do not take any hasty decisions such as leaving your job, changing your job, or getting into conflict with your superiors in this time period. Worshipping Hanuman and chanting the Hanuman Chalisa during these days will help you in a big way, even if you get into some problem in this time period. So friends, this is a short video on what could happen during this time period of 4th April to 7th April due to the exact conjunction of Mars and Saturn at 28 degrees in the sign of Capricorn. This conjunction indicates explosive events across the world, which I have already described. And I have also given what precautions every ascendant can take in this time period. So friends, if you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our channel Kamath Astrology, you can do so by clicking the subscribe button. For any consultations, email us at astrosevaworld@yahoo.com. You can also reach us through our website astroseva.tripod.com. So friends, thanks a lot. Bye. Take care and stay safe.